That's an amazing introduction into becoming a writer. Sounds to me quite fun, an amazing introduction into becoming an author. I enjoy you talking about it, talking about how the book came to be, talking about the lady violin cover display, and several other things you've mentioned so far. Thank you so much for mentioning. Thank you. And
You bet.
also, then you have the follow-up series, in the name of Eight Queens. For readers who haven't read that yet, and without giving much information away, did we have a sneak of what you'd expect in terms of themes and subject lines, picking up 8 points? And if you have a copy of it there, I'd love you to show to the camera just so it's what it looks like. We want to
Well,
start from the
actually,
first book,
this is the cover for
Cryptic
Cryptic Spaces.
Spaces. Yeah,
Now, Cryptic Spaces
very voluminous.
Foresight is the first book in the series, and there's
Okay.
5 books in that series. The second
Wow.
book is Eight Queens, and then the third book is Dark Edge Rising. Fourth book is Enigma. Fifth book is Tangible Time. So the
Mm.
entire series is completed. Um, it's won a number of national, international awards. Um,
Wow.
uh, with the second book, you know, you get into a little bit more of additional characters. There's an African American man who's kind of a mix between Will Smith and Stephen Curry and David Coggins, and
Mm.
is a fun, energetic character that brings a lot of life to the books. There's
Yeah.
another Hispanic man who his name is Antonio, and he's a brilliant interdimensional architect. Yet he
Mm.
masquerades as doing his family business of being a neighborhood barber, and that's how he recruits Willoughby into this clandestine organization.
Yeah.
So you get to know a little bit more about them, about their backstories, their history, and then you get to like all the books, you get to travel to points in history. You get to travel to different countries and locales. A lot of
Mm.
action, adventure. You meet the desert witch. You learn more about the zombies that are
Mm.
introduced in book one, and you start to come to understand what's behind a lot of these myths and mysteries that we have in our world, and that's really part of the fun of the story is finding what's behind these myths and mysteries, how they connect, how they help to spin the action towards a conclusion where we face down
Mm.
um,
Interesting.
the dark elements in the story.
That's quite amazing, really. I love your take on that. It's quite amazing to know how the other books come to be. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
You bet.
Yeah. And I hear you have a couple songs you co-produce and streaming channels like Spotify, Apple Music, and Pandora that have lyrics taken from your book series. Would you like to tell us about that too? I'm
Sure,
interested.
that was a really fun thing that happened. I actually got contacted by a fan of the books,
Wow.
and she said, "Hey, I'm an up and coming artist in LA. I was reading your book, and there's some lyrics in there, and I really loved those lyrics. How would you
Wow.
feel if I turned them into a song?" And
Oh,
that was
wow.
just another kid like me. So I said, "Sure, let's do it." And she said, "Well, do you have a tune for it, or do you mind if I apply a tune?" I
Which
said, "Let's
one?
see what you come up with." And the interesting thing,
Yeah.
Peter, is that these lyrics, I did have a tune, and I'd actually plunked it out on the piano with some help of some friends. And um, when I got the music back from her, she had never heard this.
Oh.
Her music almost fit the same tune that I had. So I thought
Wow.
that's exciting. That means that the words had a musicality to them that
Hmm.
that was the tune. So that was kind of cool. And she recorded that, and we put it on the streaming channel. She actually came to a couple of our book signings and
Wow.
had a guitar version of the song also that she did. That's a lot of fun. I wish we had had that recorded. I'd love to have that on the site, but we didn't get that recorded. We talked about going back and redoing it in the studio, but then later on when we were doing the final book,
Mm.
I reached out to her again and I said, "Hey, there's some lyrics in book four and book five, and I'm really interested in doing another song." And she said, "Well, right now, I'm engaged with Heather Stewart, who's a real up and coming artist in LA,
Oh,
does kind of a lot of soundtracks to anime and has done a couple of soundtracks to other live shows
yeah.
online and on the airwaves. And so she said I'm kind of locked into her, but let me run it by her. And then they got back with me and they said, "Oh yeah, we love these lyrics. We'd like to take a stab at it." And they said, I said, "Well, I would like to be a little bit more involved this time in the
Uh,
studio side." So I actually had the opportunity to be the co-producer on that song and to
wow.
be involved in actually the sound that we put together for it. And we later used that in our book trailer videos.
Mm.
Um, that was a fun experience as well.
Oh, wow. That sounds to me to be quite fun, really. That's amazing. That's an amazing
It
idea.
was. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
amazing idea turned make into reality. That today you have the
Right.
songs in other streaming platform. It's amazing and it's quite commendable.